I'm in the Reef Builders studio and I've got my hands on 3 different budget wave makers. It's been about 2 years since Reef Builders has done any type of proper gear review. That changes today. What's up, Reef Builders? Salem Clements here, and today I've got a very special video for you. It's been about 2 years since Reef Builders has done any type of proper gear review. That changes today. I'm in the Reef Builders studio and I've got my hands on 3 different budget wave makers, all of which cost under $250. Each wave maker will go through a series of tests and the data will be broken down and explained to you. This is not about opinion, this is about facts. This video series will be the first installment of Reef Builders Reviews, and we're interested in science over sales. Because of that, our goal with this video is to give you the data and leave the choice up to you. This piece of equipment is a Gauss meter. Gauss meters can be utilized to determine the strength of a magnetic field. We took the width with the meter, or circumference, of the magnet, and then we also calculated the area of each magnet. We took wet side and dry side readings, so you'll have the strength of both sides of the magnet, and we took an average of both of these to give you a total average magnetic strength. This is a decibel meter. The way that we conducted this test is we took a measurement of the sound of the room. This served as our background. After this, we turned on the wave maker and got as close to it as we could. We subtracted how loud the wave maker and the room was from how loud the room was to give us an estimate of how loud the wave maker alone is. In this test, we utilized a smart meter to measure the power consumption of each of the units measured in watts. We give you a breakdown of how much power the units use at their lowest, middle, and highest settings. This is the Hygger HG042. It retails at $78.99. It has a flow rate from 1,500 to 3,400 gallons per hour. As well as that, it can safely attach to 15 millimeter, which is about 5/8 of an inch of glass. It does not have any form of Bluetooth or Wi-Fi controllability, but it does have a physical controller, which can link to other Hygger HG042 physical controllers within a given distance. As well as that, this pump comes in both gray or blue. We have both demonstrated right here to show the difference side by side. In terms of warranty and support, the Hygger HG042 comes with a 1-year warranty, and there's also customer support available via email. In terms of the magnetic strength of the Hygger HG042, it came in with a score of 152.7 teslas per square inch for the average of the wet side and dry side magnets. In terms of how loud the Hygger unit is, it ran from 1 to 2 decibels. In terms of the energy efficiency test for the Hygger, at 0% it utilized 10.5 watts. At 50% it utilized 16.6 watts. And at 100% output it utilized 23.4 watts. In terms of the theoretical heat test, if this pump were to run at 100% in 1 gallon of salt water for 1 hour, it would theoretically increase the temperature of that salt water by 9.99 degrees Fahrenheit, assuming no heat loss to the environment. This is the Jecod DMP-20. It retails for $125.43. There is no information available on the minimum flow rate, but it has a maximum flow rate of 2,377.55 gallons per hour. It can be utilized on 15 millimeter glass, which is about 5/8 of an inch. It has Bluetooth connectivity to the controller and the app, but there's a new model that just released, which is the DMP-20M, and it has both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi in one unit. As well as that, as a bonus feature, it has the suction cup design for the 2-side design, which can help with redundancy in terms of attaching 2 surfaces. In terms of warranty and support, the Jecod DMP-20 has no information available on any form of warranty, but there is support available via Jecod's website through their email. In terms of the overall magnetic strength on the Gauss meter test, the Jecod has a score of 184.4 teslas per square inch for the combined average of the wet side and dry side magnet. In terms of how loud the unit is, the Jecod scored a loudness of 4 to 5 decibels. In terms of the energy efficiency test, the Jecod DMP-20 is only able to go to the lowest setting of 30%. At 30% power usage, it consumes 5.9 watts. At its middle usage of 50%, it consumes 7.9 watts. And when the pump is on at 100%, it consumes 14.9 watts. We were able to calculate the theoretical temperature increase in 1 gallon of salt water over 1 hour running this pump at 100% is 6.35 degrees Fahrenheit, assuming there is no temperature loss to the environment. This is the Sicce XStream SDC. It costs $250 retail. It has a gallon per hour rating from 270 to 2,250 gallons per hour. It can be safely attached to 5/8" glass. It is controllable via Wi-Fi and the app, as well as a manual controller. In terms of bonus features, the Sicce XStream has a water temperature sensor that is built in, so it also acts as a temp probe on the app. As well as that, you get cloud alerts for any types of potential issues, and you can utilize voice commands to control it. In terms of warranty and support, the Sicce XStream SDC has a 5-year warranty, and support is available via email to Sicce. In terms of the magnet test, the overall average magnet strength between the dry and the wet side was 369.2 teslas per square inch. In terms of how loud the unit was, the Sicce came in from around 2.5 to 3.5 decibels on average. In terms of its energy efficiency score, the Sicce at 0% utilized 1.6 watts. At 50% of maximum output, it utilized 11 watts. And at 100% of maximum output, it utilized 16.3 watts. In terms of the heat tests, in a theoretical environment with no heat loss, this pump running at 100% would increase the temperature in 1 gallon of salt water over 1 hour by 6.93 degrees Fahrenheit. Something else we wanted to test was the qualitative distribution of flow of each pump. Others have done this by having the angle of distribution of the discharge of a fluorescent liquid. We felt this was something which could be variable depending on how much liquid you use, the density of the liquid, so we left this as a purely qualitative test and didn't attempt to have any quantifiable data with it. Here, you're going to see visuals of each of the wave makers running with a mixture of Celsius energy drink and green food dye added to the water. Another metric we deemed the wave makers important to have was the ability to have redundancy if they were to find themselves running in a dry environment. In this experiment, we took the wave makers and ran them at 100% for 5 minutes each. If the pumps shut themselves off in that 5-minute period, we deemed it a pass. We also measured how long it took them to shut off in that period, so you can quantify how long it might take for a fail-safe to kick in. Obviously, this video only gives you a short-term snapshot of the performance of these pumps. Luckily, I'm going to put each of these wave makers on one flat here at the studio and run them consecutively for a year. After that year, we'll do a follow-up video where we show you the performance through the same set of tests and talk about any types of concerns or problems we might have had over that year. That will then provide you a longitudinal reference point as well. This is how all of the Reef Builders Reviews videos will be structured going forward. It'll start with an initial video giving you the consumer snapshot, and then we'll have a long-term review after we've used it and it's suffered wear and tear. Now, there might be some questions after this video. One that comes to mind is why only 3 wave makers? I've got 2 responses to that. A, we wanted to do this as a beta test of sort. Before putting in a ton of time and energy going through every wave maker that fit our criteria on the market, we wanted to be sure that this is a video that was valuable to you. Because of that, we want you to comment anything that you would have tested, anything we missed, and something that you would want to see in a more systemic review of equipment on the market. One thing that we also wanted to get right was the ability to independently verify the gallons per hour ratings on these pumps. We had several designs that we made, but they ultimately failed. We now have new pieces of equipment that we've bought and new designs we've mocked up, and hopefully we will have a way to quantify the gallon per hour rating of wave makers for a part 2 video. Going forward though, we plan to get every pump on the market that has around a 2,000 gallon per hour maximum flow rate and is controllable. We would love to work with companies to receive their products, but ultimately, if they decline to participate in the systemic review, we're going to buy the product and review it anyways. You as a consumer deserves to have information which can better inform your choice. Enough smoke and mirrors, enough bias. It's time for honest reviews. This has been Reef Builders Reviews, and I'm Salem Clemens. Stay tuned for our new auto tester review, which will be coming soon, and it'll be in this exact same format.